There he sundered the fleet in twain, and part thereof he brought nigh to Crete, where the Sidonians dwelt about the streams of Iardunus. Now there is a certain cliff, smooth and sheer towards the sea, on the border of Gorton, in the misty deep, where the southwest wind drives a great wave against the left headland, towards Phaestus, and a little rock keeps back the mighty water. Thither came one part of the fleet, and the men scarce escaped destruction. But the ships were broken by the waves against the rock, while those over 5 dark-prowed ships the wind and the water bare and brought nigh to Egypt. Then Menelaus, gathering much livelihood and gold, was wandering there with his ships among men of strange speech, and even then Aegisthus planned that pitiful work at home. And for 7 years he ruled over Mycenae, rich in gold, after he slew the son of Atreus, and the people were subdued unto him. But in the 8th year came upon him goodly Orestes, back from Athens to be his bane, and slew the slayer of his father, guileful Aegisthus, who killed his famous sire. Now when he had slain him, he made a funeral feast to the Argives over his hateful mother, and over the craven Aegisthus. And on the selfsame day there came to him Menelaus of the loud war cry, bringing much treasure, even all the freight of his ships. So thou, my friend, wander not far away from home, leaving thy substance behind thee and men in thy house so wanton, lest they divide and utterly devour all thy wealth, and thou shalt have gone on a vain journey. Rather, I bid and command thee to go to Menelaus, for he hath lately come from a strange country, from the land of men whence none would hope in his heart to return, whom once the storms have driven wandering into so wide a sea. Thence not even birds can make their way in the space of 1 year. So great a sea it is and terrible. But go now with thy ship and thy company, or if thou hast a mind to fare by land, I have a chariot and horses at thy service. Yea, and my sons will do thy will, who will be thy guides to Lacedaemon, where is Menelaus of the fair hair. Do thou thyself entreat him, that he may give thee unerring answer. He will not lie to thee, for he is very wise. Okay, Nestor is bringing his story home here, reiterating that Aegisthus had been plotting this out for such a long time, but then Orestes comes back from Athens. We don't get much detail here about how he finds Aegisthus, figures out what went on, but all we get really is Orestes back from Athens to be his bane and slew the slayer of his father. We don't know how he killed Aegisthus. Not that we need to luxuriate in the blood and sweat of all of this, but he goes on to say that Menelaus, after Orestes takes vengeance on Aegisthus, appears with a bunch of treasure from his journeys, from Egypt, from all of his ships, to kind of reinstate their wealth, their position, their prosperity over the land that they are ruling over, and brings home the theme here that Telemachus shouldn't deviate too far from home, especially while there are men who wish to do his house ill. They're saying, Nestor is suggesting, you better go and see over what's yours, otherwise it might not be there when you get back. In fact, when you get back, something even worse might be waiting for you. So, if you don't take my word for it, go check out Menelaus. He's going to be the one that will tell you straight, because he had firsthand knowledge of this story. What's more than that, all that Menelaus experienced on his way home from Troy, it's incomprehensible. He went to such a strange country, so far away, that no one would ever hope to return from. That is across a sea so vast that birds don't even have the ability to travel there for the south and back. I mean, he's making it sound like that Menelaus went to some far distant planet and back. But that, I think one thing to keep in mind with these Homeric stories is that he's not just telling that as a badge of honor, if you will, for Menelaus, but that with journeys, with travels like that, comes experience, comes not just endurance of survival, but like there's a wisdom that is accumulated having that much worldly experience. So he's suggesting you got to go talk to Menelaus now. Do not delay. Get there right away so that you can get back home and learn that you shouldn't have left in the first place. Okay. Not any word on Odysseus, really, but then again, Telemachus had pivoted and turned away from asking about his father. So let's see how Telemachus responds in turn. Will we go to see Menelaus by the end of Book 3? We shall find out. Join me here tomorrow as we continue forth. Until then, okay, goodbye. Odyssey is part of the Gruntwork Podcast Network. The show is produced, edited, and hosted by Landon Solano. The original text of The Odyssey, written by Homer. Theme song by Neuroflow. You can support this show and other shows like it by going to patreon.com/gruntworkpod. Thank you for listening. See you tomorrow.